Of the 27 million people who worked in Great Britain last year, 1 in 20 suffered an illness caused by that work. That's a loss of 18 million working days and a cost to society of up to some £11 billion. In 1995, the Health and Safety Executive launched a campaign, Good Health is Good Business, to tackle this serious problem of work-related illness and to persuade managers of a simple truth, that their businesses will suffer if their work makes their employees ill, with possibly disastrous consequences for their long-term health.
Well, my hands were all like split. The skin was like totally dried up and it was just like splitting really hard and like bleeding, little blisters, weeping.
Your lungs just tighten up. It's like somebody's trying to strangle you. You know, you're fighting for air and you just can't get it.
My social life went. I didn't go out. I just refused to go out. My wife used to go and get me 2 or 3 tins of beer at the weekend and that. And why don't you go out? I said, I can't go out like this.
I can't pursue things I wanted to do, my career-wise, sport-wise. I mean, I can't do them because I've got to take medication all the time.
It felt at its worst. I could have had my hands amputated and I'd have been no worse off than what I was, you know, when I was at its worst.
I presumed my place of work was a safe place, and I was proved wrong, and I'm now paying the price with ill health and no job.
The biggest cause of illness at work is strain injury. An estimated 1.2 million workers suffer arm, shoulder, back and leg problems brought on by their work. More than half blame lifting and carrying activities. An estimated 10 million working days a year are lost to these musculoskeletal disorders. But there are solutions.
We used to lift approximately 250 sheets an hour. Consequently, through that, I had a shoulder injury through lifting above shoulder height constantly. I had to stop playing football. Jobs about the house, DIY and gardening had to stop as well.
We decided that we would have to introduce some form of automation on the end of the line, so we started to look at the possible benefits on productivity.
In the past, because of manual handling of the sheets, the rate of the machine operating was slower because we had to manually handle the sheets onto the stacks.
So we looked at the type of machinery that was available, calculated the possible cost benefits of introducing it, and were able to justify the £120,000 expenditure and pay it back within 2 years.
With the palletiser now in operation, the sheets run along the palletiser and are automatically stacked. The injury to my shoulder has cleared up. I can now do jobs around the home, i.e. DIY and gardening.
So now that we've got our brand new palletisation machine, not only have we got the 20% improvement in productivity that we wanted, but we've also removed all the back and shoulder problems that we had before. We're happy, the workforce are happy. End of story.
But solutions don't always need to be expensive. Working in cramped conditions like loading a van is an all too common cause of strain injury. Simple measures like replacing worn-out wooden flooring with steel profile flooring across which loads can slide easily, or better still, changing to a side-loading van can lessen the risks. Where lifting is inevitable, keeping bundles small and marking a maximum load height on roll cages to stop overloading can prevent consequent back strain. Making sure that equipment is checked and well serviced will also help prevent injury. It's easy to check that wheels are free running and that any debris is removed and not left lying around on the workplace floor.
Bend the knees and drop the load between it, keeping yourself stable at all times.
And if lifting can't be avoided, training workers how to do it properly can eliminate a lot of problems. Strain injury may be the biggest cause of work-induced illness, but it can be tackled in quite common-sense ways. Similarly, the risk of RSI-type pain can be avoided by regular job rotation, so repetitive tasks are not done for too long. Noise is another major cause of injury in the workplace. Some 170,000 people consider that they're suffering hearing loss or other ear conditions caused by their work. And noise hazards can occur in some unexpected places.
The sows are very keen at feeding time, therefore because they're keen, they scream a lot, and it is a scream, literally. You can actually shake with the noise, believe it or not. The noise is that deafening, there's that many sows in there, that it literally shakes you, which is why you do need ear defenders, definitely.
Personal protective equipment, or PPE for short, may not be a complete answer and may need to be combined with other measures. It's best to eliminate the risk altogether. The first step is to find out where you have a problem, as they did in this noisy printing plant.
Now, our main problem is the turbo here. For noise level.
One of the problems that a printing factory has is noise, and we've to make improvements in the level of noise, we have removed the noisy air pumps from each of the presses and put them into a soundproof room. This was a relatively inexpensive operation, and we've made a huge reduction in the amount of noise in the machine room.
And once action has been taken to deal with a potential hazard, managers should always follow up to see that what they've done is working. But there are many areas of industry where the dangers may be less obvious. Breathing in or handling many substances, both natural and chemical, can lead to serious illnesses like asthma and dermatitis. Where you're handling products that may cause harm to your workers, the first priority must be to check the possible side effects of anything that you're using.
Hi, I just wanted some information on one of your products. I've seen 2 and 3 people leave at one time because of occupational dermatitis, so it's important that we do something about it.
Occupational dermatitis hits an estimated 66,000 people a year and loses business 500,000 days. But sometimes potential health hazards are less obvious.
The operatives were experiencing problems with the smell. They couldn't identify what the smell was. We got an expert in to test the system and found out that it was actually formaldehyde gas which was being produced off the glue line, and we decided to do something about that. So we got the experts in, and they suggested that we put a hood over the machine with an inline fan and duct it to the outside. The operatives said that they noticed a difference, and we were all happy with that.
Many industries make routine daily use of industrial solvents. It's estimated that over 7 million workers across industry are exposed to potential damage to the eyes, skin, airways and lungs. But there are alternatives.
We started using the aromatic-free cleaning agent over 6 months ago. We use it on the automatic system on our 5-colour press. We use it manually both on the blanket wash and roller wash on our 2-colour presses. We introduced the product on health and safety grounds and also on a cost-cutting exercise. It is more expensive per litre, but we use far less and it works out a lot cheaper.
Just after we had the press installed, I was getting lots of breathing problems, sore throat, chest infections that I couldn't cure. Since I've been using the new product, it's improved significantly.
Agriculture too has a high exposure to potentially dangerous substances. And where hazardous procedures are involved, training workers in the correct technique is vital. Drugs and other hazardous substances must always be safely locked away. And where the use of potentially harmful pesticides is unavoidable, safety features like personal protective equipment and this low-level induction hopper help reduce risks to a minimum. Employers are responsible in law for the safety of their employees. Hazardous procedures should be carried out at times when they will be least affected, like the low-level spraying of this greenhouse overnight. And all employees must be made aware of potential risks.
With handing the chemical.
Follow the instructions, most important thing of all.
Where the use of hazardous chemicals is an inevitable part of a process, it's essential to observe the Control of Substances Hazardous to Health, or COSH, regulations. These are rigorously enforced by HSE. Injury to a member of your workforce can cost you dearly. Whenever possible, have an emergency spillage kit available on the shop floor. Providing a plentiful supply of suitable gloves and making sure they're changed frequently is another essential, as is providing suitable washing facilities for your workers. A further cause of occupational ill health comes from the prolonged use of powered handheld tools. An estimated 1.2 million workers are at risk of developing hand-arm vibration syndrome, a permanently disabling range of conditions that affect the hands and arms. The management of health and safety at work regulations require assessment of the risks from tools producing heavy hand-arm vibration. It may be possible to change old tools for more modern ones, which do less damage.
For the new needle scaler, the vibration levels obtained are shown by the red line, which is some 5 to 10 times lower than the line for the old needle scaler. And obviously the more modern equipment is less damaging to the hands.
Regular tool maintenance and ensuring that workers stop frequently and exercise their hands will also help. But the most important thing, as with any other occupational injury, is that any symptoms are reported early.
Now, as you know, this is sharp enough to be unpleasant.
Yeah.
Does that feel sharp?
Yeah.
I want you to tell me, as I come down your hand, if it changes in any way.
It just goes numb.
It goes numb on your thumb.
Yeah.
Now, we'll try each of the fingers in turn.
It just goes numb.
Setting up regular health screening of workers is vital. Carrying out regular examinations can help nip potential health problems amongst your employees in the bud before they become serious. And if there isn't a doctor or nurse on the premises, inspections can be carried out by someone suitably trained, such as a supervisor on the factory floor. It makes good business and humanitarian sense. This year, health and safety executive and local authority inspectors will visit some 500,000 premises. Their job is not just to enforce the law. They want to make sure that the aims of the Good Health is Good Business campaign are fully implemented. If, as an employer, you ignore the potential risks within your premises, this could lead not just to avoidable ill health amongst your workforce, but to absenteeism, loss of productivity, and a business that is performing less well than it ought to be.
Right, so this is the paint mix.
So the Good Health is Good Business campaign makes excellent sense, not just in legal terms, but on economic and humanitarian grounds.
I see. And will all of these rely on an isocyanate containing hardener?
Yes, they will, and we have a guide here that enables us.
But so these are the hazard data sheets then, which
Yes,
tell you exactly what's in
correspond
each
to
paint.
all of these individual cans.
I see.
There are 4 steps you should take to make sure your business is safe. First, find out if you have a problem. Secondly, decide what action to take. There are a wide variety of choices open to you. Thirdly, take action. It may be less costly than you fear and will certainly make good business sense. And fourthly, and most importantly of all, check to make sure that what you've done is working properly. It's also your responsibility to fully inform your workers of any risks they may be running, and inspectors will make sure they've been told of these risks. The Good Health is Good Business campaign has made significant progress, but there is more to be done, and now is the time to do it. Act now and everyone will be happy.